Hey, we're live.
We are.
Good evening, Australia.
Good morning and good afternoon, Europe. I am Michael.
And I am Danie, and it's very humid here in Melbourne. I've got my little tissue to just kind of, get rid of the shine.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want to give me some of that heat, you can here. But welcome to the first Eurovision Live Hub Hangout of the 2022 season. It's been so long, I have missed this. And what a better person to kick it off with you. I'm so
Oh, no, you, hang on. Which way is
nice.
it? What are you?
You. But we are not alone today, as you all probably already know. We are joined by Australia's 2022 representative for Eurovision, which will be held so soon. I was going to say in a couple of months, but it's so soon. Where has the time gone? So
Unbelievable.
yeah, so guys, in the comments section, send your questions for Sheldon. We've had some on Instagram and stuff already. So Danie, shall we just introduce our very special guest?
I think we should.
Shall we take it away? Did you get it?
We should take it away.
Take it away. Guys, welcome to the Eurovision Hub live hangout, Sheldon Riley.
Thank you.
Yay! I've got to say, Sheldon, I was a little concerned coming into this live stream that I was going to be underdressed. So I went down to the local shops and I told the lady what I needed. And she said, sure. And she said, what are you needing it for? And I said, oh, I'm doing a live stream with, our representative for Eurovision this year. And she said, well, you can have this for $1.
Oh, cute.
It's not going to stay on, but I thought, look, you're setting the bar pretty high here for the fashion.
Oh,
what
stop
do you think?
I love it. I think it's great.
It's nice, isn't it? The clips are a bit broken, but it won't last. But I thought, look, now Miceal needs a bit of bling.
I mean, you're very committed to the role.
Yeah, it's 10 across the board. 10s across the board from me. But I think it's Sheldon's look still gets the 12 points.
I think so too. And it's going to fall off. So I'm going to take it off. But yeah.
After Danie Miceal and Kate Miller-Heidke, I was like, well, the bar is set very high. I need to
so high. You know what? I've got to say, as an Australian Eurovision fan for quite some time, it was so amazing for a lot of us to see you jump on a plane and go and do these, these pre-Eurovision parties over there and actually being a part of it. Now, how are you feeling?
I was told very, very strongly by my team, by the Australian representatives, by Eurovision Australia, do not go to the pre-party, Sheldon. You want your outfit to be this big and you've got this much time and you are gonna probably get sick. It's a lot of traveling and it's a very big commitment, and I didn't realize how big it really was, but I was like, no, I need to go. We haven't been in such a long time, and I mean, regardless if I perform or not, I feel like it's time Australia brings back a presence back overseas, and I'm so glad I did. But I completely lost my voice in London, like gone, lost it. And then did Israel, and I was like coughing my little heart out, but it was okay because I loved the whole experience. It was so good, and to meet everybody and just to get to know it was really good. I actually became really good friends with the Irish representation this year. She's a party, isn't she?
She is, and she's from we're from the same place, so
really
I'm super proud of having a representative like her.
Yeah, Brooke's great. She's a fun time, but it was so exciting just to be a part of it. Unwell or not, it was amazing.
Oh, that's so good. I've caught up with all of it now. I did watch Israel Calling last night, and honestly, the production value that they put into that,
amazing.
It was like,
wow.
But I'm so glad that you're starting to make friends with people before you get there, because I think, once you're there, it's game face and all of that stuff. So I think it's really good that,
Yeah,
you know,
also,
you've made mates already.
1,000%. I mean, everyone's so nice. I think everyone's also just so excited to perform as well. There's some funny ones though. I mean, Latvia's a good time. Ireland never. It's a really fun group.
Oh, fantastic. No, it was just magic to see you, you know, getting into that fold really early, and, you know, well done. Well done. I'm glad that you've come back pretty unscathed, a little jet lagged, but, you know.
I'm getting there. It's good. I mean, I was just really wanted to make Australia proud. We went over, we got, I mean, I got dressed up every time. It was it was a lot more effort. And do you know what? I know Australia. I mean, Danie, we're good. We're fans of the competition, but nothing beats the European fan base over there. That it's
Oh, I know.
huge. It finally made me understand why people go, why is Australia even in it? And I'm like, because we love it. And then they're like, do you? I'm like, no, we really do. Then you go over there and it's like people's bread and butter. It's everything. So it was really, really great.
Yeah, we love it over here. Now, speaking of the pre-parties and the Israeli pre-party, in Tel Aviv, you were asked what your 5-year plan was, and you said that Eurovision has always been your dream, and I love that because yeah, it should be someone's dream. You know, it's an incredible platform. But how does it feel to finally have manifested your dream, and is it what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really weird question, especially seeing with everybody because it's tough. I mean, everyone's got their own 5-year plan. Mine, I remember when I did X Factor the first time. This was 5 or 6 years ago, and they said, what's your 5-year plan?" And I said to them, "I want to be on Eurovision, right or wrong. That's what I want." And then I did they're like, "Oh, I bet you just want to win the 100,000." And my response was, "No, I'm actually just happy as long as I'm recognized enough. I really want to do Eurovision." Then they're like, "Okay." Then went and did the Voice All Stars. I did another one. And they're just like, "Oh, you're going to win it this time." I'm like, I don't really care. I just really, really want to do Eurovision. And I mean, America's Got Talent. I mentioned Eurovision on an American stage. How crazy am I? And it's just been.
I love that. Love
So
that.
now I'm in a room with all of the competitors. I mean, well, most of them. There was a large majority of them all sitting there. And the question, what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, oh shit, I don't know. I haven't really. I just want to be able to write music, make fashion, and do what I do. But everything I've always ever wanted is happening right now. I'm talking to you two amazing people about music and about Eurovision, about fashion, about the three things that I've never ever been able to speak to any Australian musicians or any Australian publicity before. So I don't know. I feel like I'm living out my 5-year plan. It's happening and I'm doing it. I mean, obviously, I've got really big goals and stuff for the future, but a 5-year plan, it hit me really hard. I was like, shit, I'm doing it. I'm doing my 5-year plan. I've got it. I'm an independent artist representing Australia, by far the least Australian artist to have ever been selected for Eurovision. And I'm doing it, representing the country I love. So yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
crazy.
you are. And is it what you expected?
Yes, but even bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch every year. Well, Danie, you know as well. Waking up 5 a.m. every morning. I mean, I don't know. You're probably there, but five. It's tough. It's a tough one. Three times a year we get up, we do it, and we love it. And I watch all these interviews every year. I watch from you guys. I watch the Wee Wee blogs on Aussie Vision. All these different people that just love the competition so much, and I fall in love with artists every year because of you guys and because of the interviews you guys do. And I've said every year, I just really want to. I remember last year being so deeply obsessed, still am actually, with Barbara Pravi from France and watching
Oh,
and falling in love with her every time, even though the answers were always the same because it's always the same questions. But I just, I'm so proud to be doing it now, and being the one that's being interviewed. I don't know if any of you guys have had a big dream before, but one that felt so unrealistic. I mean, Australia is so new to the competition, and I never thought they would have an independent artist come forward and be able to do it because Eurovision is so big, and you really do need a team, and you really do need the finance behind you. But I mean, we're doing it, and it's exactly what I expected, but bigger and greater. I don't really want it to end. Hey.
Oh, you should be so proud of yourself. Even listening to you, I'm like, yes, you're doing it for everyone who has those big dreams. You know, you're making it happen. So fair play to you.
It means a lot.
Oh, it's just so exciting, and with the world sort of slowly trying to manage this, I hate being political, this new normal. It's just really lovely. And I was saying to a few people on Twitter last night that it almost feels like Eurovision of old is back.
Mhm.
And seeing people gathering, and there's pre-parties, there's pre-parties happening here in Australia at the moment with the fan club. Everyone is starting to make
Yep.
plans again around Eurovision, and it's just spectacular because 2020 hit us all really hard, but then losing the contest that we love just made it harder. So it's just really, really nice, and just going into this with like a fresh perspective, and not taking anything for granted. It's just really, really lovely.
I mean, this is the year for it. I mean, you guys have been fans of the contest for ages. Do you think, me watching, like, competitor aside, this is the biggest year for it as well, especially post the movie they did, post Italy winning and just being the biggest, actually probably since Duncan won, it's just become even bigger for an instance. It is so massive for me watching now, and I'm just like, this is possibly the biggest year of Eurovision yet, just because of how much hype there's been since the show was cancelled back in 2020. So I don't know, it's I feel like it's a massive deal, and everyone's a Eurovision expert. Everyone wants to be a part of it, which I think is so great. And it's interesting talking to you guys and other people who know the contest well, because I feel like I'm a part of this massive club now that's just quadrupled in size. So it's really cool.
And you'll always be a part of it. And this is what, we've said to people that have gone through Australia Decides and have not won. You will always be part of the Australian Eurovision family. There's all there is to it. We're coming along with you for as for as long as you need us. So you are family now, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means so much. That's crazy. It's so full on to me. I have joined every single Eurovision fan club over the last 5 years on Facebook. I pay for Patreons and everything. I know I've said it so many times, but I don't think people really understand how much this really means to me. I feel like I don't know. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. Because I've just been so amongst it. I mean, I come from a pretty religious and reserved family. Eurovision wasn't always so accessible for me, but once it was, I couldn't get enough. And I kind of, I mean, Danie, again, Australia, I'm not the sound that Australia is used to. Forgetting the style for a second, even the sound, it's not very Australian. So I've always looked to Eurovision as hope that one day I'll be able to perform to an audience that not that get me, but I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to explain who I am. Now I'm performing to a group of people that it's almost like they don't even care about what I'm wearing, which is so good. I love that. They're just like, oh, it's amazing. Can you sing? And I'm like, yes, I think I can. and it's good. Because in Australia, I mean, Jesus, it doesn't matter how much I write or how much effort I put into my music. It's always just about what's visually happening. It's always just, what are you wearing? Who's that? It's all that. But Eurovision care about everything. And it's so exciting to see and, to be asked about that stuff as well.
It's so cool. It's so cool. We're just so proud of you,
I mean, it's so weird. I mean, even at Australia Decides, so some artists that are like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I have no idea what is going on. I didn't realize how big this was. The fan base have come in. I've gained more followers since ever before. I have no idea why. And I'm just like, because they get it. They understand art. It's not just listen to a song on Spotify and skip next. It's like they want to know everything. Why are you so good? And why do you do what you do? And it's the most supportive audience in the world. I can't I can't even express it, but it's so cool to be a part of it.
Now, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. And I know you're going to say, no, Danie, I can't tell you.
No.
Can you tell us anything about staging? Anything?
I am the first person to give everything away. And I remember when I revealed I revealed the name of my song to an article, and my manager has never lost it so badly. It was just like, what are you doing? And I was just like, but I just want to tell everybody what I'm wearing and what I'm singing. And they're just like, no, and that won't be happening again. So out of fear, I can't, but I can tell you some cool things, which I actually can't, but I want to. So the staging is, they say that the national final should be, the Eurovision should be about 10 times as big as what the national final was. We're going for about 100 big, which is why we come home so early. I have taken lots of notes of the artists who have come before us and before me. And before me, what the heck? How crazy is that? Anyway, yeah, of the Australian artists. And I mean, I want to live up to the Dami Im expectation and the Kate Miller-Heidke expectation, and really show people just how much Australia belongs in this contest. So the stage is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The outfit is huge. It weighs a lot. I'm going to be releasing who that is, I believe, this week, which is really exciting. But it's massive. It's really, really big. I mean, I have always wanted to wear something like this. So it's huge. A brand new crystal mask, which, do you know what? Which was really hard. We're designing a new crystal mask because we don't want it to be the same every time. But every they showed me, I'm like, nope, that's too Kate Miller-Heidke's crown. It's too this. It's too that. And we finally found a shape. Right. It's really cool. So that's happening. What else can I say? I mean, it's going to be major. It's going to be really, really big, which is honestly a massive reason why they didn't want me to go, because like to the pre-parties, because we have so much to organize. Yeah, it's a lot, but we're excited. We're very excited.
We're excited. That is a lot more information than I thought we would get. Thank you, Danie. Thank you for treading there.
Just for you. I mean, when I tell you it's different, it's very different. It has the silhouette, and the idea is the same, but I mean the color, the look, the everything, it's changed a lot. I actually watched interviews that you guys did. I took lots of notes from that as well. I really respect your guys' opinion as well. So it's yeah, I mean, lots of changes, but for the better, I hope.
Does that mean I can use the pun, it's not the same?
I mean, I what a mess.
Sorry.
Same. So yeah, I guess you can. But do you know what? I'm not in a national final. It's Eurovision, and we're competing with the absolute best. Look what Sweden just did. I watched that, just shitting myself, going, "Wow, if this is then."
Yeah.
Do we love Cornelia or do we love Cornelia? Which one?
Love.
We are obsessed with Cornelia. I did some content creation with her in Stockholm, and she is a dream. And
gorgeous. I mean, she makes me look like a giant in the sky. She's so tiny and petite, but she is a superstar. I'm obsessed. I actually think, I mean, again, competitor aside, I think she's kind of like my Barbara from last year, but for this year, I'm so obsessed. I cover her song, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, obsessed with Sweden. But yeah, what I was saying, we're competing with. Yeah, it has to be bigger. I mean, even with Italy in the mixes, excited to see what they're going to do. And I'm being compared very strongly to, say, Poland or Azerbaijan. So I wanted to make sure that aesthetic, I was very true to myself. So that comparison can go right out the window. I mean, I'm very honored to be compared to them, though. Like, what beautiful, amazing artists. And I would love to write with Christian from Poland one day. But he was gorgeous.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be amazing. But yeah, I've considered a lot, and I also, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I want to hear your thoughts, but semi-final 2, I think, is a bit bigger in the competition side than semi 1 is. There's a lot of people in there, a lot of people that I would consider are the biggest competitions in the show. So we wanted to make an impact and make it good. I'm happy with going 8th. I think the position's good. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Because when I saw the semi 2 lineup, I was like, okay, they really said let's go out with a bang.
Yeah,
No, one, but just for me and my song, they've really thrown me in there. So
I
right.
think it's so interesting to hear your perspective on things because we never know if the artists look at comments or who they're being compared to or study the lineup. So I think that alone, that
Funny thing is, I'm not actually looking at comments. I gave up on that probably the day after the national final. I was like, no, I can't do that. I would say 90% of it is extremely positive, but it's also hard because people are basing me off a national final that happened in Australia, a show that is nowhere near as big as, say, Sweden. You know what I mean? It's hard. And it was also a very quick concept and turnaround. Like, we're in the Gold Coast in Australia. COVID played a massive part on what was and wasn't possible. Rehearsals were virtually impossible as well. So if I'm being a national final competition that I'm very proud of, but wasn't ideally what I would have wanted it to look like in every aspect, then I mean, I would say a good 90% is very positive, 10% hate me, but whatever, we keep moving on. I'm excited to see what people will think of actual Eurovision now that we're, you know, I've kind of, I mean, I've done it. You know, I've got a very small team. We've created what that looks like and what it's going to be. So, I mean, if I get any hate from it, I'm going to wear it because it's mine. But yeah, kind of gave up on reading comments and stuff because and even studying the competition as well because it's a little bit pointless. But when you do interviews and people are like, so you and Poland, basically the same person. I'm like, in what way? I don't
yeah.
know.
Well,
And him, I was talking to him for a little while. We got on really well. I was just like, do you see it? He's like, I think maybe like our lower registers are a bit like have the same warmth, but other than that, no. But do you know what? If I had to be compared to a song, I'm very happy to be compared to his song.
yeah, and a vocalist like him as well. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He
yeah.
is ridiculous. He's crazy. And me with my half lost voice, I was speaking. We're getting ready, and I was like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, what? I'm like, I can't. I mean, we're already super compared. I've got no voice. You're singing like Celine Dion next to me. You're incredible. I just can't now. Even him warming up in the bathroom, I walked past. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who is this talented?
Oh.
So talented.
Well, how is your voice now? Are you up for playing a little game with
Oh,
us? One of our
Oh.
favorite games here at Eurovision Hub. It's the song association game. You may have
Sure.
seen it before. We are going to give you a word, and you are going to have to sing an Australian Eurovision song with that word in it.
Alrighty.
Are you up for the challenge?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'll try my hardest. If I sound horrible, I give up on the game because I'm not having this live turn into a meme.
Oh, Miceal has done like this challenge with the reactors. I do not sing. So if you feel better, just say words like poetry. That's what I usually do. That's how I get out of it.
Spoken word.
Spoken word. Slam poetry.
Yeah.
All right. Word number 1 is want.
Want.
Miceal and I like.
Do you guys know? Obviously, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy.
Let me give clues.
Yeah, please.
He's a guy.
That's a good start, isn't it?
So how many male representatives have we had
that have been guys?
I mean, it's a good one. I'm just trying to think of the point in the song where he says, one, oh, do what you want, do what you want, do what you want, do. Of course, my brain, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
There.
love
Point.
don't we?
Okay, your next word is up.
Up. I'm gonna cry. Okay.
It's awful when we put you on the spot. It's okay.
I'm feeling like it's Kate Miller-Heidke, but it's not, is it?
Think
No.
about the previous year.
I have no idea. Up. This isn't as easy and as fun as what you guys made it out to be before it started.
I said we'd be gentle, didn't I?
In the beginning, we were like, Sheldon, it's going to be really fun. We'll have a nice time. And he's like, Jesus.
Honestly, don't give up.
Hey.
We got love. Cause
Woo!
do you know what's funny? When you said up, I was like, don't break me down.
Up, down, up, down. All right, last one, and we'll take you out of this misery. I'll just try and say that again.
First at these games, yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
Cheap.
It don't come easy.
Yes!
Been burned too many times. I want to sing that song. I've never tried. It's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When the voice is a little bit more,
Actually, fun fact, I was very close with Isaiah. We did X Factor together. We got to the top 12 together. And I remember we were sitting in a room and everyone was there and we were talking. Everyone was asked, what's your biggest dream? And I was like, I want to do Eurovision. And he's like, oh, I just heard about that. That's a good time. Same year, they were like, and Australia's representation is Isaiah Firebrace. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Like, you don't even like it. I like it.
I was very, very proud of him. It was so exciting. I remember staying all hours to watch all rehearsal. I was really proud. But yeah, it's so cool. Actually, he was really supportive at his sides as well. He just straight up was just like, I mean, if I win a second time, that's great, but I would love for you to. I was like, oh, you're too sweet. So yeah, he's a really kind boy.
Aww.
Yeah. That is so great. We don't have long left, you guys.
No, we don't.
It's been a dream. So we quickly jump into, we were talking about fashion and your staging and the masks and stuff like that. Danie, shall we dive into that real quick?
So I have a theory.
Tell me.
As someone who is also, in a sort of disabled chronic illness kind of community myself. And I'm like you, Sheldon. I read everything. I read all the articles. I watch all the, reaction videos to other channels and all that stuff. And the mask comes up quite a lot.
Yep.
So you tell us what the mask represents to you, and I'll see if it matches up with what I think it is.
I want you to tell me what you think it means, because I mean, I've said the same answer a fair bit today. I want to know what you think it means genuinely, because I don't want it to change anything. But what do you think it means, honestly?
Well, as someone who lives with disability and chronic illness, there is an expectation to fit in.
Yep.
And for me, this is all smoke and mirrors. I'm in my pajamas and slippers, so it's it's business from the top and relax down the bottom. So for me personally, I see your mask as actual literal masking. So protecting yourself from expectation, from whatever society will just put on you. And I do the same, makeup and hair, smoke and mirrors. So I wanted to know, as someone who also, deals with this whole kind of, I don't know, trying to keep up with a society that doesn't exactly fit me, because, I've got mobility issues and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to know if I'm getting, like, my theory is correct.
All right, so the real meaning behind the mask, Thank you for sharing that, by the way. But the real meaning behind my mask is I was asked if I wanted to wear the crystal mask back on The Voice and on the All Star season. They said, "Hey, we've got a cool idea. What are your thoughts on this?" I mean, I've always kind of stuck little things to my face, and
Mm.
when they like, wow, that's beautiful. It was House of Emmanuel. It was Swarovski
Mm.
crystal. Stunning. It was just everything I wanted. For a very, very long time, I really hated the way that I looked. Every time I looked in the mirror, I without getting too down, I really hated everything about myself. I thought I was just the most disgusting thing, and it would hurt me every day, and I would just always be anybody else than myself. And I think being someone who has autism and it's not visible, I was always finding it so hard to connect with people visually as what I was mentally. I mean, mentally, I'm a completely different person.
Mm.
Visually, than as somebody that has autism or struggled with chatting, or so I'm a very extroverted kind of person, but deep down, I'm extremely introverted. I've really struggled chatting, talking, understanding, and I pushed myself for a very long time. So this thing where I'd look at myself, I just never ever thought I was good enough because in my mind, I'm like, I'm just not good enough. I was told for so long what I could and couldn't achieve.
Try. Yep.
Not emotional, it's actually empowering, but told for a very long time, because you're on the spectrum, you're going to find it hard to speak to people, to get work, to communicate, to really be understood in any platform. And
Mm.
I mean, up in a religious family too, that was something that was heavily prayed over me to be fixed for a long time too. So I've always felt like there was something wrong with me, but I never wanted to blame it on what was going on in my mind. So I would look at
Mm.
myself, I just hate everything about you, like everything you are. I hated it. So when the mask was offered, I've wanted to be a performer for a really long time, a really long time. And I love singing and I love being on stage, but I know that comes with the idea that I have to be photographed, I have to be on camera. And, being on all these TV shows, I'd watch them back and I would just crumble every time. I was just like, I just hate myself. I hate looking at me. And I just want to sing without people having to see me. So slowly, as time went on after that mask, it was the first time I performed where I was like, I've got it. It's a beautiful distraction. It's
Mm.
something where people watch me and I can hide behind something, but still do what I love to do. And people go, "You're so this, you're so that. We love what you wear. We love what you do." And I almost became a bit addicted to the idea of I'm there's nothing I can't do. I can perform now, but you also don't have to worry about this hate. But as time went by, I'll wrap it up quickly, but as time went by, I realized this is super toxic because once I took my nails off, my mask off, once my hair washed out, my outfit was off, and I was just standing there, ready for bed, I would look at myself and go, I can't wait to wake up and put everything back on because I hate that I'm here looking like this. So I really had to work on that. And when Eurovision finally happened, I knew I was ready. I've learned to really love who I am and know that I am completely fine just the way that I am. And I also, the big part is I never want to be an advocate for hiding because you hate who you are. It's not the
Yeah.
answer to it. Because once you take it all off, all you have is yourself and the mirror, and that's it. And what you're just supposed to live in hatred because you don't like who you are. And I guess that's why I connect with drag queens a lot. I connect with people
Mm.
who up and I connect with people who are on the spectrum as well because they understand we're expected to put a mask on every day because we're not visually autistic, we're not visually ill. We are exactly, we look like normal functioning human beings, so we have to put on this kind of extroverted mask that goes, yeah, you're
Mm.
good, fine, because you're physically perfect, there's nothing wrong with you, so you have to just keep on going. So that's kind of what it was. And when Eurovision came, I was like, it's time to take it off. I mean, it was written into the song. It has to happen. And I don't want to get rid of the mask forever. I think they're really beautiful. I mean, as jet lagged and as disgusting as I feel right now, I don't care because I have no one to impress. I'm very happy with who I am. But this is the moment where I get to wear the mask and I'm in control of it. It's why I don't put it down. It's why I don't have something to sit it on. They wanted me to sit it on. So I'm like, I want to hold it. I want to show people I can take it on and off. It's completely up to me. There are still days where I look at myself and go, oh, no, you're not it today. But have to remind myself, but to whose standard? And it's okay. So keep going. So yeah, basically, long story short, or very long story short, that's it.
Sheldon, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing.
You are a beautiful human, and I didn't expect to have a cry on a live stream, but there you go. You, like listening to Not the Same, and you know, myself feeling otherness every time I cry. So I'm just sitting here crying at you instead of crying listening to you. So
yeah,
thank you for giving me the chance to talk about it. I mean, in fairness, it is technically a gimmick. I mean, it is something people talk about. It's like, oh, it's the mask. I remember walking into the press room in London. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's here with his sparkling mask. It is for sure, but I feel a lot more confident with it on, and it's I've had to learn how to be confident without it. So, I mean, I'm so happy I decided to write it into the song that I take it off, because it's really important to me that narrative switches now, because it's not healthy.
Yeah. Thank you
oh,
again.
you are just beautiful.
Yeah. And I know we're going to wrap it up now, but you've previously spoken about Conchita and 2015 being that year, and how you want to be for other people what Conchita was for you. And I can safely tell you that you 100% are, by just being you and your most authentic self. So I have to let you know that before we wrap up. Just, you are an inspiration for sure.
Thank you so much. That means the world.
Really are. Thank you so much, Sheldon. We wish you all the luck in the world for next month for Eurovision. You're going to Eurovision. You are your contestant. What?
Imagine me with 90 kilos worth of, oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say. Anyway, lots of weight worth of stuff. It's crazy. I love you very much. Thank you.
It's fine. We'll edit it and post. No one will know. It's fine.
Fine, leave it in it. Whatever. Alrighty, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
As Australians say it, chookers.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.